Konnichiwa! I'm here to find out about the top 10 best places to see cherry blossoms in Tokyo. Well, the pink Japanese flowering trees are even more stunning in person than you can imagine from the photos, and the photos are already gorgeous. So, to show you where to go, because it might be overwhelming, there's a lot of people but there are no signs showing you this is the best sakura play spot. So if you want to catch a sakura bloom, here are my top 10 favorites in Tokyo. Enjoy! The most favorite place possibly to see the cherry blossom sakura trees in Tokyo, Japan is UENO Park. UENO Park is, well, one of the hot spots in the city. It's a really giant park. There are around 1,000 cherry blossom trees and they are beautifully lit up at night. There are the typical iconic pink lanterns strung up underneath the trees of the alleys, so you cannot ever miss where the cherry blossom trees are. I mean, they will be vivid in pink, so you can't miss them. But at night, it's an entirely different view because of the beautifully kind of pinkish shade thrown onto it from the illuminated light in the lanterns. And you have to be really careful if you wanna set up for hanami. You have to get up really early or secure your spot. There are blankets left even overnight. I'm not entirely sure if they're there for public use or not. And one of my favorite places to see cherry blossoms in Tokyo is SUMIDA Park, which is in Asakusa, right at the riverside. It is a nice little promenade with over 600 cherry blossom trees, which is amazing. And you should go there at sunrise because then there are no people really around. Maybe it's a lone jogger somewhere, but you've pretty much got it all to yourself. And the view with the sun rising behind Skytree, which is the tallest tower in the world. Not the tallest skyscraper, the tower. It's just mesmerizing. It's beautiful. You frame it with cherry blossom petals in the foreground and Skytree in the background. I just love it. It's my favorite spot in Tokyo. One of the most popular places for locals to go and see cherry blossoms in Tokyo is CHIDODRIGAFUCHI Park. It is basically the northern west moat around Imperial Palace. It's freely accessible. The park isn't really a park. It's more like an alley with a nice street, and there's well-groomed little flower beds. But there are 170 trees, and they are so heavy from the pink flowers that they actually bend over the moat. And you can rent a boat at CHIDODRIGAFUCHI and go paddle around and underneath the cherry blossom trees. It is a perfect place to just soak up the beautiful colors and bask in the sunlight. And a couple of people have gotten engaged there, so that's a very romantic spot to just hang out if you are traveling with a partner, or just chill out with a buddy and have a really good time during sakura season in Tokyo. Next, we have the Imperial Palace. You can actually not enter the palace itself, but the Eastern Gardens are freely publicly accessible. You have to stick to the opening times. So just go straight to the east gate of the Imperial Palace in Tokyo, and then you can see beautiful cherry blossom spots. It's not all over the place. It's more little pockets of cherry blossom trees, but they are also not very crowded, so you can just place your hanami mat there for a little bit and enjoy the beautiful day and the pink colors. There are over 1,000 cherry blossom trees in the entire park, but like I said, you can't see them all. Another really cool place to see cherry blossoms in the capital of Japan is Roppongi Hills. You might not really expect it to be a good place, but it is beautiful because there's alleyways that are lined with sakura trees and they lead straight up to Tokyo Tower, so it's a beautifully framed shot. There's lots of shopping facilities, even if you are not really rich, because Roppongi is used to more luxurious, high-end. So it's not really a place I usually hang out in, but it's beautiful for just really having cool photography. And there's this really weird spider standing in front of the shopping areas. It's art. That's all I can say about that. One of my top 3 places to see the sakura bloom in Tokyo is Meguro, which is the Meguro River walk. It is more low-key, but there are around 800 trees lining the canal. It is a typical Tokyo canal, nothing fancy about it, but the trees make it really special. They are left and right, and they're so heavily hung with all the cherry blossom petals. It's absolutely beautiful. It goes on for quite a bit of a length of a walk, and you can walk one way and then cross on the many bridges. They are crossing that canal and then go back, and there are quite a few people around, but early in the morning not so much. At night, again, it's all beautifully lit, so you can enjoy the sakura at night in Tokyo. And yeah, there are 2 stops with the JR train, and you can get to Meguro River too. So yeah, you will not really have trouble finding it. When you're in Tokyo, you will most likely visit the iconic districts of Harajuku, Shibuya, and Shinjuku. If you're there, you should really go check out YOYOGI Park, which is to the west of Harajuku Station Stop. And it's a giant park which looks like you're suddenly in a forest, but you're in the middle of Tokyo, which is insane. So it makes it a beautiful and tranquil place to soak up some fresh oxygen and check out a very old and historical and beautiful temple, as well as 730 cherry trees. It's just a really great way. Also along Harajuku on the rail tracks, there are a few cherry blossom trees as well if you'd rather walk from Harajuku into Shibuya. Next, we have Shinjuku GYOEN Park, which is right in Shinjuku. It is a park that is actually not free to visit. You should pay 200 yen and expect a long queue before you can get your ticket, so it's a good idea to book it in advance if you can, and then you can enjoy a lot of people under a lot of cherry blossom trees. They bloom at different times during the spring season in Tokyo, so that means you will have a good chance of seeing some of the trees flower at any given point of time. The best time to actually visit Tokyo for cherry blossom season is at the last week of March and in the first week of April. And also always check the sakura report. There is a cherry blossom opening and buds in full flower report, which is updated regularly, so that one is really good. And it changes every year depending on the climate and the flower predictions and all of that. It's a whole science to it. But yeah, anyway, that park is really quite beautiful. It has 1,100 cherry trees, so it's really quite big. The entire area is like 3.5 hectares large, so there's a lot of space to spread yourself out. Last but not least, Yanaka Cemetery. Yes, you heard that right, a cemetery. I personally love cemeteries, and I think the ones in Japan are really quite unique and very beautiful. But the Yanaka Cemetery, which is just north of UENO Park, is quite special indeed. It was made a public graveyard in 1874. It has over 7,000 graves, and it's so quiet and serene there, which, well, can be expected from a graveyard. This means there are no crowds underneath all the cherry blossom trees. You have it pretty much to yourself, and there are beautiful and various kinds of cherry blossoms in spring, so you can just have a very nice introverted walk right there and recharge your batteries before heading out to the next cherry blossom spots in Tokyo, or to the Cat Street, which is just next door. And there's also a video I made about that. Maybe you should check it out in my Japan playlist. I hope you liked my little video about the top 10 places to see cherry blossoms in Tokyo, Japan, and if you want to see more, I've got a whole series on Japan, all the different places you can go, temple etiquette, what kind of food you should go to, how 2 weeks could look like. There's lots of free downloadables on the blog, so click through to www.travelonthebrain.net, and I hope to see you around for more videos, so give me a like so I know you like it. Give me a comment if you want to give me specific feedback, and subscribe for more video content. I hope you stick around, stay travel-tastic, and bye. Yeah, there's actual tea in there, and not just any. This is cherry blossom tree. tea, cherry blossom tea, because I've got an eye for detail. And I make this mug myself, not just for this video.